G'day, it's Jamie, and welcome to Tantanoola Tigers. Today, I'm reading a couple of old newspaper articles about the Wonthaggi Monster sightings in 1955 and 1956, so we'll get into it. This first article was published in Melbourne's The Argus on Thursday, the 1st of December, 1955, titled, "What Was Up That Tree? Wonthaggi, Wednesday." A strange animal with a blood-curdling yell startled marine dealer Fred Rollinson and a Mrs. A. Spurgis early this morning. "No, I hadn't been drinking," Mrs. Spurgis said. "There it was, up a tree," said Mrs. Spurgis. "Big as a dog, large claws, large head, furry body, striped like a zebra, and a long tail. When I heard the yell, I thought it was the kids looking for a lost calf. When it saw us, it sprang 50 feet to the ground and disappeared. I've seen goannas, frill-necked lizards, wildcats, and foxes, but it was none of them." Asked if the animal resembled a tiger, Mrs. Spurgis said, "More like anything I can think of. I didn't get a long look at it." A circus passed through Wonthaggi last week, but did not report any missing animals. Mr. Crosby Morrison said last night, "Apart from the fact that the animal is described as having stripes, it sounds like the greater possum glider. This is a rare animal now, and it normally comes out only at 9, but this one probably went to bed late. The possum glider does not have stripes. However, the shadows of the branches of the tree might quite easily look as if it had stripes. If Mrs. Spurgis insists that the animal really had stripes, it may be a domestic cat gone wild. Some of these are enormous." The end. This next article was published in Melbourne's The Argus on Monday the 5th of December 1955, titled, "They've Seen, Heard Blood-Curdling Scream. Weird Animal Stirs Wonthaggi." Wonthaggi, Sunday. Several people have armed themselves against a weird mystery animal which is giving Wonthaggi the jitters. 3 people have seen it, and 3 others have heard its blood-curdling screams. Mr. Jim Drodge, an English migrant, first saw the animal 8 months ago. He saw it about a mile from where it frightened Mrs. Sturgis last week. The animal, big as a dog, long claws, long tail, big head, furry body, and striped like a zebra, is giving local people the jitters. Drodge saw it at 6 o'clock one evening. He said it was standing in ferns 15 yards away, looking at me. It had ugly tiger stripes across its face. When I stopped, it turned and made off, padding like a panther. It was as big as a Labrador, but it lacked a feline look. Cyril Moria, who share farms for Mr. W. Honey, saw it twice 2 months later. It reared up at him, but made off when approached. Whatever the animal is, it has done no harm. Sheep and pigs have not been molested. Mr. and Mrs. J. Wright, who live about a mile from where Mrs. Sturgis saw the animal, are satisfied they heard it 3 months ago. They bolted the door of their home when a strange animal set up a blood-curdling scream. Search. Mr. Rollinson, who saw the animal last week, also carries a shotgun when he goes into the stunted timber near his home. At 6:30 this morning, he saw tracks in the damp clover, which he thought might belong to the monster. A party with pointers, foxhounds, cameras and guns this afternoon made a vain search led by Jack Paddy Brennox of the Swamp Lady Search. This one has me baffled, said Brenox. The end. This next article was published in the Argus on Tuesday, the 6th of December, 1955, titled, Monster Maybe Cat, says expert. Mr. Crosby Morrison, Argus wildlife expert, believes the Wonthaggi Monster might be a very large, feral, gone wild, domestic cat or a very large wild dog. Mr. Morrison thinks the story may be gaining embroidery in the telling. He added, for the original description, I thought it might be a giant possum glider with tree shadows for stripes or a cat gone wild. Later information eliminates the possum glider. Two possibilities now fit the facts. One is that it is a very large, feral, gone wild domestic cat. The other is that more than one creature has contributed to the sum of evidence, in which case it is likely to be a very large wild dog, like the notorious Tantanilla tiger of years ago, with a feral cat providing the tree-jumping part of the story, and one of the shriek owls or even an old koala contributing to the night noises. Mrs. Hardy of Huntley Street, Elstonwick, rang the Argus yesterday to say she thought the beast might be an Afghan hound run wild. Mr. Ken Stewart of Park Street Seafood says the beast fits the description of a screaming woman owl. Mr. Morrison says an Afghan hound does not climb trees nor is striped. The powerful screaming woman owl does not run on four legs and have a long tail. The end. This next article was published in the Argus on Tuesday, the 8th of December, 1955, titled, Wonthaggi Beast Has Town Buzzing. Wonthaggi, Wednesday. Not since the 1937 mine disaster has Wonthaggi been so stirred. The whole town is buzzing with excitement about the beast of Wonthaggi. Daily bulletins are displayed and the beast is the main topic in shops, hotels and homes. One hotel notice board read today, it hasn't been caught yet. Customers ask shop assistants about latest rumours on the beast, and if they don't raise the subject, the shop assistants do. The beast is more discussed than ever than the weather. Aeroplanes passing over Wonthaggi to Tasmania dip low. Marine dealer Fred Rollinson, who saw the beast last week, is being overwhelmed with questions. Rollinson has invited everyone to take part in a search on Sunday and provide their own refreshments. A false rumour swept the town today that the beast had been caught and brought the town to the tip of its toes with excitement. The end. This next article was published in the Argus on Thursday, the 15th of December, 1955, titled, Beast Seen Again. Wonthaggi, Wednesday. The Wonthaggi beast has been seen again. It was sighted by John Longstaff, 18, drill hand, near Karak Mine today. Longstaff noticed it hopping along 20 yards in front of the truck he was driving across a paddock. He said it froze like a rabbit, so I stopped the truck, grabbed the crowbar and walked up to it. I got within 15 feet when it ran on another 20 yards and stopped. Although I did not take my eyes off it, the animal vanished in only a foot of grass. I'd never seen anything like it. It was a cross between a wallaby and a fox, if that's possible. It certainly had short front legs that other people have spoken about. It was brown striped across the nose, head and neck, about 2 feet high and 4 feet long. Longstaff's description tallies with that of 4 people who saw the animal in the same area last week. The end. This next article was published in the Argus on Friday, the 3rd of February, 1956, titled, The State of Victoria. hometown news from everywhere. Wonthaggi, Thursday. Has Wonthaggi Monster shifted to Merboo North? Wonthaggi hasn't seen it for 8 weeks, but Mr McCracken, a Wood End visitor, claims he saw it near Merboo North today. Mr McCracken said he was driving his car when he saw the animal stalk 2 bronze-winged pigeons like a cat across the road. It is mottled grey, with a head like a wombat. It is 5 feet long, with a tail twice as long as the body. The end. So this next article was published in the Argus on Thursday, the 8th of March, 1856, titled The Monster of Woolamai. Wonthaggi, Wednesday. A Woolamai farmer is carrying a gun while out tonight. Today, his children saw a mysterious striped animal with a long bushy tail while they were cycling to school. The children, Betty Drew, 14, and her brother Robert, 13, said tonight the animal was much bigger than a cat, dog or fox. They saw it on a bush track 12 miles from the hunting grounds of the Wonthaggi Monster, reported in recent months. Betty said it had dark stripes through its furry coat and a very long bushy tail. It appeared to be stalking birds. It disappeared into the scrub as we got closer. It had the strangest face. One can only describe it as like that of an owl. Last night, the Drew's cattle herd stampeded, waking Mr. Drew. Again this morning, the cows kept rushing up to the house. Tonight, Mr. Drew will search by spotlight for the animal. The end. This next article was published in the Argus on Saturday the 16th of June 1956, titled Wonthaggi Set to Trap That Monster. Wonthaggi, Friday. Our men will keep a watch over a staked sheep carcass this weekend in an effort to trap the Wonthaggi Monster. 7 times in the last month, dead sheep poisoned to kill marauding foxes have been dragged 200 yards and eaten overnight. Wonthaggi people are talking of nothing but the monster. Mr. Ern Featherstone, one of 14 people who have had the fleeting glances of the monster, says it is a Tasmanian devil. Discovery of a 3-foot 9-inch native cat at Lindenau leads others to believe that it is a rare native cat. Mr. Jack Hitchin of Inverloch thinks it will turn out to be a huge possum. Mr. Roy Sharrock says, I'll bet pounds to peanuts it's the huge tomcat that slept in my barn last winter. Mr. George Huntley says it'll be a huge cat, which the Kilmany tiger of 1931 turned out to be. The end. This next article was published in the Argus on Friday the 22nd of June 1956, titled Argus Men Corner the Monster by Lindsay Mudge. 2 Argus men cornered the mysterious Wonthaggi Monster in a dense tea tree jungle only a mile from the town late yesterday, but it is still at large. It escaped after a fierce encounter with a veteran hunting dog. The dog tracked down the monster in the tea tree after an all-day search through 10 miles of scrub country. Yesterday, Argus photographer Percy Spiden and I made a special trip to Wonthaggi to hunt the mystery animal, which has been sighted by a number of people since early this year. Fierce barking by our dog warned us that he had flushed the quarry, but only the dog got a good look at the monster. Percy and I caught no more than a fleeting glance of a ginger body flashing through the tea tree. I fired 6 quick shots from a high-powered rifle, but the animal escaped. The dog crashed through the tea tree in pursuit, but returned to us in 10 minutes, exhausted and discouraged. We were assisted in the search by Mr. Peter Atkinson, a farmer at Lance Creek, and a Mr. Ern Featherstone, a motor car salesman at Wonthaggi. Mr. Featherstone saw the monster crossing the Inverloch Road several months ago. The end. This final article was published in the Argus on Thursday, the 19th of July, 1956, titled Bloodhound Will Track Monster. Wonthaggi, Wednesday. A 150-pound bloodhound is being used to track down the Wonthaggi Monster. The dog is owned by Mr. D. Mummery, a storekeeper of Thylacoleo, 22 miles from Wonthaggi. Mr. Mummery has outlined his plan to find the monster's lair. When a Wonthaggi farmer finds a dead animal eaten overnight, he is to phone Mr. Mummery, who will rush to the scene with his bloodhound to give his dog a chance to get a fresh scent. Huge Scottish deerhounds will be released when the quarry is sighted. The plan has been successfully used several times by a Murderfoot dingo trapper. If the bloodhound is good enough to get to dingoes, I don't think a timid monster will present much difficulty, Mr. Mummery said yesterday at the end. Well, this is really interesting. I'd love to know what these people are seeing. Are they seeing a big cat, or are they seeing a Thylacine, or even a Thylacoleo? Because up in the tree bit makes me think of Thylacoleo, but like they said, it had a blood-curdling yell. It was up in a tree, as big as a dog, large claws, large head, furry body, striped like a zebra, and a long tail. And but when it saw the people, it sprang 50 feet to the ground and disappeared. Well, up in a tree and then jumping like that sounds like a Thylacoleo, but it could have been a Thylacine, who knows? And then other people have seen it and described it as it had ugly tiger stripes across its face. It padded along like a panther. It was as big as a Labrador, but it lacked a feline look, which is really interesting, saying it didn't look like a feline, meaning a big cat. So that puts me to the Thylacine and Thylacoleo. And Cyril Moria said it reared up at him when he approached it. And then the next bloke was Mr. Longstaff noticed it hopping along on the road in a paddock in front of the truck he was driving. And he said even though he didn't take his eyes off it, it vanished in only a foot of grass, which is really weird, but really cool, like the way that they can camouflage themselves like that. He said he reckoned it was a cross between a wallaby and a fox. It had the short front legs that other people have spoken of. He said it was brown striped across the nose, head and neck. It was 2 feet high and 4 feet long. And then a Mr. McCracken saw one at Merboo North, which is not far from there, and he said it was stalking 2 bronze-winged pigeons like a cat across the road, and his one was mottled grey with a head like a wombat, but this is the crazy part to me. He said it was 5 feet long with a tail twice as long as its body, so that's like crazy dimensions. And then Mr. Drew's children, they saw a mysterious striped animal with a long bushy tail. It was much bigger than a cat, dog or fox. It had dark stripes throughout its furry coat and a very long bushy tail and appeared to be stalking birds. The girl said it had the strangest face that you could only describe as like that of an owl, which is like crazy looking and really interesting. I wonder if she meant that because it had big eyes, because it was probably a nocturnal predator. And then Mr. Drew's cattle were stampeding, being scared by something, which is really interesting. Mr. Ern Featherstone reckoned the monster, he got fleeting glances of it, but he reckoned it was a Tasmanian devil, which is interesting. And the guys that got a shot at it, the reporters from the Argus, said it was a ginger colour. So it's all really interesting, but I'd really love to know, what are they seeing? Are they seeing a Thylacine, which looks like it in the pictures, the picture that the guy drew about it? or is it a Thylacoleo? It's very interesting. Okay, that's it from me. I'll get back to you all next time. Bye.